Sagittarius, welcome into the channel. I hope you are doing well. So we are going to do a quick moon cycle spread, and we're going to see where you are at with your wants, desires, your manifestation. And we'll get kind of a feeling of like maybe what the blockage is, maybe some details or what can help you get past the blockage. And then we will see kind of where you are, during a full moon phase. Now, we do have a full moon coming up May 1st in Scorpio. It does not mean that manifestation, you will be able to celebrate anything by May 1. It could be. It just depends on when you've been manifesting, how long you've been manifesting, what steps you've taken forward towards it. We do have 2 full moons in May. So you've got May 1st and you also have one at the end. So it could be anywhere in there where you could be celebrating little milestone goals towards your manifestation, or you could just be full on celebrating. And so we'll go from there. So I hope everybody's doing well. Just a quick little recap. I will be going out of town this weekend, but I have pre-recorded astrological event readings or videos ready to be released. The first one is for April 25th. That is the big one, as everybody's been hearing and they know. Gemini moves into Uranus. Let's see, there's a couple other things going on that day. I will probably release that one either Friday night or very early Saturday morning. And then I have one for the 26th. I have one for the 28th and the 29th. So that should give you guys some content while I am out of town until I get back into town, to keep you up to date on what's going on. But we're going to release those probably a day early so you have enough time to catch up and prepare for what's happening astrologically. Okay, so keep in mind, Sagittarius does not have to be just your sun, your moon, your rising, or your Venus. It can be any placement. Don't forget that we embody all 12 signs of the zodiac. And if you have no planets in Sagittarius, you do have a house. All right. I feel like that was a mouthful. So let's get into it, shall we? All right. Let's do the moon cycle here. What's going on for Sagittarius? What's blocking them? What is blocking them from their manifestations? What do they need to know? I'll be using the Moon and Stars Tarot, and I may be called from time to time, if I am, to pull the specific meaning of the card. In case you guys don't know, each tarot deck sometimes has their own specific meanings, not just the reader's interpretation. So I might be called to make sure I'm not missing any messages for you. Okay. All right. So what do we've got for Sagittarius? Page of Swords. 6 of Swords. 7 of Pentacles. High Priestess. Okay. So Sagittarius, it looks like there's you're learning something new, you're discovering something new. You might have like a little bit of a watchful eye on something. You know, the Page of Swords is the you know, it's learning. It can be some communication, but it is also a person that does sit back and watch and learn. So you could be watching a situation, you could be watching a person, and you're trying to maybe get a little, or you're trying to learn maybe some information about a certain situation. What's blocking you here is the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is transitioning on. It's moving out of choppy waters into smoother waters. It's very much mental. So you might be a little caught up in your head with moving on. Like I said, I don't know specifically what this is. We will try to do some clarifications and figure it out. This will be different for everybody. But mentally, yeah, it's kind of like you're not ready to move on. You're not sure if you want to move on, which is maybe why you're, you know, manifesting, or your intentions are to get a little more information, to learn a little more about something. So to get, you know, details, or to break this down, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles can be about having patience, right? It can also be about looking back at the seeds you've planted. And so, for instance, your manifestation, your desire, you know, when you put the intention out there, you start taking steps towards what it is you want to learn or what it is you want to know. Seven of Pentacles can very much be sitting back and kind of watching it grow, take off, and having the patience while it does it. Because they always say, you know, you can, I don't know, you can plant a flower, right? You're going to put the seed in the soil and you're going to water it. But you can sit up all night, but you're not going to see a sprout, right? It's going to take time. So eventually you're going to have to go on about your life, go to bed, you know, get up and do your thing, and let the seed and the soil and the water and the sunlight do what it needs to do. Much like watching a phone ring. It's not going to ring usually if you stare at it. You know, it's going to seem like it's taking forever. But if you go on about your business and your day and you're doing your thing, eventually you're going to turn around in a few weeks and you're going to see a little sprout. That's kind of what this is telling me, is maybe there needs to be some patience. Sit back and give something some time. Because the outcome in the full moon phase, you have the High Priestess. So it's very much a listen to yourself, right? The High Priestess is very intuitive. It's a sense of knowing, a sense of peace, of knowing internal wisdom, having the internal wisdom, knowing that things are going to work out. So while your blockage is the Six of Swords, there's a little bit of stress maybe with, you know, getting into smoother or moving on to better days, less stress kind of thing. So let's get in and get some clarification here. But at the end of the day, you know, when we get to the full moon, it's listening to your inner voice and understanding that the wisdom is within you. So maybe you're watching a situation thinking there's more to learn about it. But truthfully, it's maybe you already know, and it's just listening to your inner self. So tell me, oh goodness. So tell me about the Page of Swords, please. well, Ten of Wands, but truthfully, it flew out in the reverse. Truthfully. Yeah, it's kind of like, don't carry so much of the burden. We have the Hierophant. That's the teaching, learning. Yeah. And the Hierophant and the High Priestess are very much the 5D pair, like you would have the Emperor and the Empress in the 3D real world. Give me one more. The Knight of Wands. It feels, whatever this is to you, it's saying, don't take on so much of the burden. The learning twice here. And your passion. So you're inspired to do something creative. So you might be trying to learn something new that excites you. With the Pentacles here, it could very much be something creative that would make you money. And it's like you are trying to learn about it, but at the same time, at one point you may have been burdened thinking maybe you weren't going to get past a rough patch. Because if you do something new, we all always have to remember, if you're doing something new or learning something new, number one, you have to start off somewhere. You're not going to jump into some new endeavor as a professional. I mean, we all start at the bottom. We all, have to rely on mentors kind of thing. And maybe that's what you were worried about. That, getting a mentor or somebody to teach you a little bit more about what it is that you want to do was weighing on you. Which is why your Six of Swords, your blockage is, kind of being stuck in your head of, maybe I want to move away from this creative thing that I want to do or this thing that excites me. It's kind of like, wait a minute, give yourself a chance. Again, the Page of Swords is the youngest of tarot. It's the beginning stages of communications, the beginning stages of learning. It's the starting point. And I think you're a little worried about starting over. Keep in mind, there are people that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who completely switch paths, career paths, and things that they want to do that, excites them, and the thing is, you have the energy with the Knight of Wands, right? So you have the energy to put into it, but it's, having that mentor who's been doing it help guide you along the way, and to drop the burdens of the fact that you're at the beginning stages of what it is that you want to do, right? Get out of your head. That's how you're going to get out of that blockage, because it's like you're stuck between, well, maybe I should just kind of like not do this. Maybe I'm too old for it, you know? Maybe I don't have enough time to learn this. And yet it's kind of like, well, no, why would you do that? Have some patience with yourself and listen to yourself. Tell me about the Six of Swords real quick here. Tell me about the Six of Swords for the blockage. There's the Ace of Cups. There's Temperance. That's you. That's your power card. And it's time. You know, Temperance can be a long time. It can be a period of time. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. Yeah, so it's saying here to get out of the blockage of being caught in your head thinking, you know, Eight of Swords is, you know, you are restricting yourself by being caught in your head and giving yourself all these scenarios or excuses. It's like, well, I'm too old, or it'll take too long for me to learn this, or, you know, I don't know, maybe I feel embarrassed to, you know, have to go to a mentor to kind of help me because, you know, I'm 50 or 60 years old. Never. We are always learning. I am 52 years old, and in my day job, I learn from people that are 20 years younger than me. I don't judge, because they're going to bring fresh ideas. Like, I may have the wisdom of the age and the experience, but they're coming up in a new age. So they're very technology driven. So when you put it together, never think like that. It doesn't matter how old somebody is or, you know, what their background is. It can always be helpful. And I think you're restricting yourself. And it's saying, you know, have patience, right? It's a balance, right? And to use your feeling, right? You're very caught in your head. Swords is caught in your head. It's time to take a step back, get out of your head, because you're literally feeding yourself ideas. And it's, how do you feel about what it is that you want to do, that you want to learn, that you want to start? Get into the feeling of it and get yourself calm. You got to remember, we have Gemini moving into Uranus, and that's happening Saturday. Well, I mean, today's Tuesday, and if you think we're already not feeling that energy now, I got news for you. Yeah, we are starting to feel that energy now. And I think that's you starting to replay things in your head. There's too many ideas, too many thoughts going through. And Spirit's like, all right, take a break, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Temperance, you know, can be very much about relaxation, yoga, you know, calming yourself, knowing you need to get yourself in a balanced state between your head and your feelings, so you're not all just in your head, to get yourself out of the blockage. Yeah, you don't want to be caught in your head, especially when we have, you got to remember with Gemini moving into Uranus, that's the shakeup, right? That's, sudden shocks to the brain. You're going to have all these thoughts and ideas, and everybody's heads are going to be basically you're jumping into the body of a Gemini. And I have a lot of Gemini. I'm like that on the daily. I have to be mindful because it's going to be even more, it's going to be 10 times more for somebody like me because I already think like that. You're just not used to it. And I think you're already having too many thoughts race into your head and you need to calm down. And Pentacles, the plants, the seeds that you've planted, you're good. Have patience with yourself and know that whatever it is that you're starting to do, yes, it will take time. Don't let your head feed you the BS of you're too old. It isn't, you don't have enough time for this. What about this? Maybe this idea is better. Calm and balance yourself. You've got this. So let's go over to the Seven of Pentacles real quick. The Magician, creation. The Magician has all the tools to create what they want. They have the willpower. It's also related to Mercury and Gemini and Virgo energy, right? So Gemini is the communication and the thoughts. And Virgo it's very much earthly. So we're talking, we're grounded. Focus on the details. It's Virgo can be very analytical and can overthink. And you don't want to do that, right? It's remain in that earthly energy, grounded. And don't worry about perfection. This is not a time to worry about perfection. Right now is a time to, if you have a lot of ideas coming to you, a lot of thoughts, don't jump at them, jot them down, right? Jot them all down and then take some time to sit back and go through the list and see what would genuinely work for you, because you have the capability to be the magician. Okay, you've got all the tools to do what you need to do. It's just a matter of using the tools properly, right? You don't want to take, every tool you have and use it all at the same time. Maybe you need to break it out in steps, right? Is your heart in this? Do you feel good about doing this idea, right? That's the cups. That's the emotion. That's what you had here. The swords. You've got a lot of swords. So I would say jot all the ideas down, go through them over time, and then scratch off what you really don't feel your heart's in, kind of thing. You have the tools to manifest and the willpower. Do not forget that. You just don't want your mind to mess you up. So what about the High Priestess here? Listening to your inner voice. I do. I think at the full moon, I think you're going to be really clear. So what I'm saying is, don't act on any of these ideas that are coming at you left and right. Write them down and go through, take a couple of days and take a look at the ideas and scratch off what you're just like, nah, I'm not feeling that, right? If you're not feeling it, scratch it off the list. It is not going to be anything that you want to do. High Priestess. the Lovers. That is about choice. It's, yes, the Lovers can be, yes, the Lovers as in two people. Could this very well, this spread be about somebody maybe you love in your life? Absolutely. I'm not going to rule that out. It is a collective. However, because I am seeing so much of ideas and passionate endeavors, doing creative things, the Lovers in that sense is you have to choose what it is that you love, what it is that your heart desires. You have to actually choose it. And the High Priestess is use your inner wisdom, your inner voice during the full moon, whether it's the one coming up in Scorpio May 1 or the one at the end of the month, which would be you. It would be Sagittarius, I believe. You might want to double check me, but yes, it should be Sagittarius at the end of May. And that's when maybe you will know 100% in your soul, mind, and body and heart what route you want to go, what you want to choose. Okay? So let's get you a moon card. And we will close this out. I hope you found this helpful. If so, please go ahead and subscribe, share, like, comment, and don't forget to stick around for the astrological events. I will be posting those, like I said, a day early, but they'll go from the 25th to the 29th. And actually, a couple of those are about love, and I think one was are you stepping into a dream or an illusion? So this could play into any of those. So pay attention for those astrological videos I'm posting. Here we have the worm moon. Now is the time to awaken to new possibilities. Embrace fresh starts and opportunities. And the opportunities they bring. Awakening, fresh beginnings, opportunities. You're going to have so many opportunities, and that's because you're going to have all these ideas coming at you if they're not already. You can't tell me that we're not already getting into this Gemini energy because, come on, right? What is a few days? We're not that far off from Saturday, people, you know? So we're already feeling this, and we had a preview of this energy last year from July to early November. So you may have even had an idea then. So feel free to check out the zodiac signs that I did that are for the next 7 years. They're very recent on my profile. So go ahead and check that out so you get an idea of how Gemini moving into Uranus will be for you over the next 7 years. And stay tuned for the astrological events that are coming up early next week. Those will be posted, and it might help you with this. Again, I'm not going to rule this out. For some of you, it could very well be you're trying to decide, you know, on a specific strong connection, a lover. Others of you, yes, this is a passionate endeavor, and you're just not sure, you know, what you want to do because you're getting all these ideas coming at you. And like I said, the important thing is to take it one step at a time, write them all down, and then go with what you feel. All right. So Sagittarius, I hope this was helpful. And until the next one, I will talk to you soon.